I thought about Northwest, but I was like, no, let's leave these people's kids out
Yeah,
these titles.
yeah. Not everybody. Yeah, no. Yeah,
I don't feel like fighting with no Kim Kardashian tribe.
not everybody's blue.
Not
That's
everybody's,
true.
not everybody is blue.
That should be the time. That should be the
See,
Not
that's
everybody can
the
be
one.
Blue Ivy. Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
Happy Pride 2024.
Ask Yo Aunteas. Surprise, surprise.
And not everybody can be Blue Ivy. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report.
Hey, welcome to Minoritea Report. It's Auntie Jerell.
It's Auntea Dawon.
And it's Auntie the other Jerell.
It sounds so dismissive when we say that, but like, we mean it with all our heart and with love. Like, we just don't want people to get confused, but we're like, damn, the other Jerell.
It's just
Miss Tequila.
right.
Miss Tequila.
It's just easier.
It is.
I mean, we found that out in PV for your birthday.
Oh, honey, that's a word. And they were like, Jerell, who is you? It's like,
And
okay,
did
never
nobody
mind.
believe us the first couple times we said it?
I know. They sure
That's
did.
my name.
There's a
It
little
just happens to be
Jerell
his name. That
conspiracy.
sounds like his name.
They sure didn't want to believe us, but yeah. Hey, community, happy Pride Month, by the way. Happy Pride Month. Hopefully you didn't come into the month too tired, because we know it could be a long month for some. And other months you're like, hey, I'm staying my ass in the crib, so hey, be a restful month. But for me, in my home, I'm gonna be outside
all damn month.
all damn month, girl. All damn month. And Dawon came into the month already outside. Welcome back, Blue.
Thank you.
And, pull your mic up a little closer. It sounds like a little quieter today.
Okay.
Name that took his voice.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. She here.
Okay, we're good.
So how was it, Boo? How was it? And community, he might be a little tired today because he's like fresh off the plane. Did we lose you?
Not sure what happened, but now I can't hear anything.
Well, we hear you.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Oh, you back, girl?
I'm good.
There we go. So I was just saying, I was like, he might be a little tired today just because he's fresh off the plane. He just landed.
Literally, that's what I was going to say before the little kerfuffle there. Literally just got off the plane today. Then unpacked the clothes and, sat down to just chill for a hot second and got to get to work.
Got the time to make the donuts. But you
me.
look good, though.
I still got a suitcase from a month ago that ain't been unpacked.
Oh, see, I don't live like that. I can't do that.
His shit already in the laundry. His shit already drying. He already dropped the shit to the dry cleaners.
See,
He already.
I'm waking up tomorrow with more problems. No way. We go to bed. We have these problems solved tonight. Start the next day fresh.
Ooh, Bounty, or whatever the shit called. Oh man! So how was it? How was Spain? And I forget. Was that your first time in Spain?
First time in Spain, and went to 5 days in Madrid. Another 5 days in Valencia, 2 days in Ibiza, and then another day back in Madrid before flying home. So
he was all over Spain.
We were all over. The whole reason for going was because two of our really good friends ended up getting married, and so they had a COVID wedding, but this was like the official wedding, and we were all invited, and they brought all the friends from all over the world together, which was just really beautiful.
And they some cute friends too, y'all. They some cuties. I was like, woo.
Yeah, that was a very interesting phenomenon. Just seeing like how everyone was acting all prim and proper at the beginning of the ceremonies, and everybody's kind of like with their own little cliques, and it was two gay men getting married, so there were a lot of gay individuals and family and friends and all that kind of stuff. And then by the end of the night, baby, I don't know, like, I mean, I wouldn't say that there were orgies going on,
Ooh.
but there might have been some coupulations, some unspoken
That's right.
coupulations.
I know that's right. As it should.
So for all y'all out there, I'm glad y'all had fun.
And he's like, and I'm glad for my eyeballs because I was looking.
Right, exactly. No, but beyond that, like, I mean, beyond the wedding of our friends Kenny and Alex, we spent some time in Madrid, and that was kind of cool. We were there for a very long time, well, for 5 days, and the area that we were staying in was like kind of like Times Square. So
okay.
I didn't really like that part of it. But when you don't know the area, never been, you just don't really know. So I'm talking to my friends like, oh yeah, we're staying in a hotel this area. It's like, oh, you're very central to this. I'm like, yeah, it's central, but does this need to be like Times Square?
You say I didn't need to be that central.
Right. I'm trying to get away from this.
Right.
So, but that was cool. And then on tail end, we went to Ibiza because I just needed like 2 days of rest. Like, no plans. The wedding, there were 5 days. 4 of those nights, there were plans for the wedding every single day. So it was, Madrid, and then Valencia for the wedding, all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, I just need 2 days of just like being in a like really bougie ass, like Zen kind of place with like 30 rooms, like nice pool, like, and I don't have to lift a finger. And that's when we went to Ibiza for. And that was...
I took a pill in Ibiza.
That was...
Did you take a pill in Ibiza?
I did not take a pill in Ibiza, but
maybe some other locations.
I was... No.
Nope.
But it was such a lovely experience. We didn't even leave the hotel. Like, we were there for a couple of days. And by the second day, I was like, should we leave? Should we not? And ultimately, I was like, I need the rest. So I just stayed there the whole day, ordered. Girl, that bill afterward was a hard thing to swallow, but I did it, baby.
Yeah, man. Exactly. I pat myself on the back.
But it was worth it.
Out of those 3 cities, which one would you instantly go back to? You're like, oh, I would go back there tomorrow.
Damn. Honestly, I want to go back to all 3. Like,
okay.
Literally, if I had to go to one over the other, I would probably go to Valencia because their old town, I didn't get a chance to explore that at all. Whereas the other places, I got a little bit of something. So I would probably go back to Valencia. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, no, Spain's on the list. Like, originally we were thinking about maybe going to Barcelona this year, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So maybe next year or something. But Spain's on the list. And how the men's is? I know when you came back from Italy, you said, "Ooh, the men's is in Italy." Is Italy still topping? No pun intended. Spain, or is Spain topping Italy, or is it a verse life?
I would definitely say that Italy is still reigning supreme. The Roman era, the Roman Empire is still conquering the dolls at the moment. And not to say that that there weren't some very delicious looking men and honey.
Yeah.
By the time we got to that little, what I was thinking was going to be a Zen getaway, there was all kinds of menses just flickering around. It literally felt like I was at an influencer pool party.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like nobody was being obnoxious, but like the way people looked, it's like I literally was like, I feel like I'm in an episode of White Lotus right now. And shit is about to go down behind the scenes. And I'm just pressing my popcorn because I'm ready for the stories. Beautiful men swimming out there, older couples, younger couples, like it wasn't, people think of Ibiza, and I'm not characterizing all of it based on this hotel, but where I stayed, it was a lovely experience.
We know it would be. Because we know Auntie Shari ain't about to stay just any kind of place.
Honey, oh my gosh! And then when we got back to Madrid for the one night, we stayed at this other hotel, which was in a much better location, and it was like 5-star all the way. Like my room got upgraded to like premium something superior, whatever, with 2 balconies and all this. It was just they had like cakes and wine and shit waiting for us in the room, and it was just like very cool.
Okay, now, damn.
So it was an experience that just kept elevating as you went through the trip.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to hear. And I did see Kenny and Alex's outfits. I was like, okay, now Kenny and Alex. I was like, oh, bitch, y'all stunned on us hoes. Them outfits are everything.
Custom made. Alex's sister got married last year, and she had a costume or an outfit idea that she wanted to bring to life with the help of an artist and a draper, and her dress was like impeccable. And so Alex ended up going back to them, and then they collaborated on concepts, but then once they got the concepts done, they kept all the designs separate so that they would both be surprised. They just had a theme of fabric that it had to be in and da. But beyond that, shape, style, whatever
was interpreted by the designer.
Absolutely. Yep.
And community, just to kind of give you, because I'm sure you're like, what did it look like? So they were both in white, but I would say Alex was kind of like in a more maybe traditional suit, from what I could tell from like the pictures and stuff. But then on the back of his, it was almost like a cutout with almost like mesh lace,
heart-shaped cutout in the back. Yeah, that had a lace overlay. Like an antique gold and white overlay. So the whole outfit was basically white, and the interior was like this like shimmery goldy off-white kind of color, which was cool.
It was pretty. And then for Kenny, similar concept. He had kind of a suit, but then he had like a cape with the same kind of similar kind of cutout in the back. And I was like, bitch, y'all stunned on all of us. It was so pretty. I'm like, damn, that is because like I just like how it was a blend of the masculinity and femininity thing, and they didn't limit themselves to just maybe a traditional suit or whatever it may be, and they made it exactly what they wanted it to kind of to be.
The more that I go to see gay weddings, the more that I start to really appreciate how people have leverage some of the traditions that still hold value to them, but then introduce new ideas and concepts around what the experience is going to be, because it's a completely different it's a completely different case than like a heterosexual wedding, which there's kind of this format that people feel you have to peg into. But 1000%. Each wedding is so different. Like they had a drum line perform, they came in, I instantly thought, Kenya, more hair care in my head. But there weren't any other black people around to get it, so I just had to keep it in my head while the Spanish drum line was doing their thing. Kenya, more hair care. I'm done. Yeah, but they had a song for each table that people sat at. So throughout the evening, when that song came on, they would come to that table and dance and sing that song with that table. So
that's a cool
every
idea.
table got a different kind. It was just, everything was so thought out and so beautiful. And I just love how, long story short, I love how, us non-heteros are embracing what marriage and commitment and celebration can even look like and to be experienced by the people that are around us, as long as it's filled with love.
That. I love that. That was a good wrap up. Amen. Well, we missed you, boo. We missed you last week.
I missed you.
Yeah, always good to see you back.
Y'all had some hot topics to get into over these last couple of weeks. I missed some of that, but that's okay. We got a few to talk about tonight.
I know you missed all the bad built hoopla. Actually, no. Here we go. 1 minute, both of you. What was your take on the Bleach Blonde, bad built Butch Body?
I'll just go first and just say, okay, go ahead, baby.
It was epic. It was a nasty, filthy read. Did you see the video that that woman posted of her working out in her gym after.
Yeah.
I said that
Yeah.
that ain't fixing that.
Right, that ain't helping the situation, sis. I don't even want to call her sis. Girl, lady.
Oh, baby girl.
Oh,
That's
baby
what
girl.
AOC girl called her. I honestly felt like it's about goddamn time. Like, and one of the things that I love about our girl is she knows how to flip the mirror back on other people, and
Yes.
in a way that you see what's happening because she calls it out, and I love that.
1000%.
So I love that she had that in the chamber, and I love the sense of constraint of what she probably really wanted to say in the heat of the moment to get your point across.
At the end of that sentence.
It was supposed to be B7. It was supposed to be Brandy's album. B7.
Right.
Oh, that's funny.
The level of constraint that, but switching gears just a little bit, like I've been watching Charlemagne on a couple of, doing the rounds, and people have been kind of talking about, how he's taking a stance not to endorse Biden. And, what I appreciate about because I've seen this a couple of times, even when she was over in Italy. I've seen a couple of times.
She still got them Italian messages on
the
her mouth from a year ago.
That's right.
She done went to cute ass Spain, but she said Italy. Woo.
Baby, they were waiting for you at the door in Italy. So, oh my gosh. But anyway,
Charlemagne and endorsing.
Yeah. So, with Charlemagne, what I really appreciate about what he's saying is that my endorsement doesn't really matter, and it's not my job to incite people to voting. That's the candidate's job to do that. And I really kind of appreciate that point of view, to like actually start shine a light on.
I need him to tell everybody to vote for Biden, because if Trump in here, it's like, I know you don't like the Biden, I know you don't like Trump, but Biden is a billion times better than Trump. So I know you don't want to endorse nobody, and in most circumstances, I actually agree with that stance. But this year, it's going to hurt us so much more. It's going to hurt us so much more. So tell them hoes that listen to the Breakfast Club every damn morning that are simply influenced by you to not vote for Trump. We can't have him in. Like, oh my gosh. So like, I struggle, and maybe we even kind of get into it because this is kind of one of the aunties do you give a damn moments too. So maybe here we go. Aunties, do you give a damn? And this is a continuation of it. I'm struggling this go round with who and who isn't endorsing people, but then I'm not struggling with this one. Do you give a damn that Amber Rose endorsed old boy? And then speaking up for the Black and the LGBT communities that she is not part of neither community.
I low-key and I'm glad that she got into it with old girl at School U or whatever that show was.
Yeah.
It's Jocelyn Hernandez.
Yes. You ain't black.
Puerto Rican princess.
You ain't. Like, at the end of the day, and by the way, I jest about that. So don't get your panties in an uproar. But she can endorse whoever she wants. But at the end of the day, I feel like whatever she does isn't going to influence other people to do the same thing. I don't think she has the kind of follower influence that maybe
she thinks she do.
She thinks she does. I could be wrong, but I don't know. What do you think?
You could be, but I doubt it. And anybody who does follow her influence,
gonna end up with a tattoo on your face.
And they're gonna end up put out on the street is what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I just struggle. Like, I feel, and again, endorse who you want to, vote for who you want to. But what I struggle with because I'm pretty sure she's a white woman. Like, I don't know if she mixed with something. Maybe I missed that headline. Maybe she is. I don't know. But
She's
at
supposed
least the perception is she's a cis white woman, and I struggle with a cis straight white woman at that. I struggle with her justification saying that Biden don't care about this community, your community, da 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 da. For you to make it seem like oh boy cares about said communities as well. We already went through his like whole thing for the 4 years, and so he ain't did shit for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so for you to hop on the endorsement train and say it's going to be good for our communities pissed me off. And I don't even be checking for her like that. But it like blew up big enough where I'm like, where the fuck is she coming from? And like you don't get like that. And
it might as well have been Ja Rule. Like,
well, I mean, to be fair, when was the last time anybody talked about Amber Rose and she was in the media? It would have been. It would have been when Jocelyn beat her ass on BET.
Right.
And it feels very disingenuous to get her name back out there, thinking she has that much pull still. And you're the mother to a black kid. That's the other thing. Your ex was Wiz Khalifa. You now have a black son. So there is big repercussions of you trying to utilize your influence to have someone come into this office that ain't gonna give two shits about your kid at all. Not to say Biden gives 1 cent, I don't know, or maybe 2 cents. He might give 1 cent. I don't know. But that's the part where I was like, it was just rubbing me the wrong way. And I don't know why, because again, I'm not even checking for it. But it was just a justification, and then to see her try to speak for these two communities that you're just not part of at all. And yes, I get you say I'm an ally, this and that, but based on your justification, I don't know if you're an ally no more because your justification would not be that. Like, we would never hand you the reins to say, speak for our communities. Thank you, Amber Rose.
Yeah, that would never happen.
No.
I also feel like, I don't know, like, you just lose a lot of credibility as a human being. Because when you look at, the remarks that she made out of her own mouth, about who Donald Trump is and what his character is and this and that and the other, to now run tailcoat, I don't know. It just, for me, I kind of go back to this idea that a lot of these celebrities and famous people or people that are really, really wealthy are not going to be impacted in the slightest way. Or at least they're going to be impacted a fraction of the opportunity that other people that they're talking to are going to be impacted by these decisions. So it's easier for them to flip-flop because it ain't going to hurt their bag one way or the other. But for average Joe and me, it impacts us a lot. And that's what people don't think about.
And that's why I even struggle with Charlemagne. It's like him not endorsing, which again, he's a grown ass man. Endorse who you want to, don't want to, don't. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But in a similar case for him having that much pull that he has, especially in the black community, especially when we're already in the year where a lot of folks are saying, I'm not voting because I don't like either candidate. I'm, all this other stuff. I feel like it gave them permission to also speak that rhetoric when full well come that day after, if old boy's in office, Charlamagne's still gonna have the Breakfast Club. He's still gonna have MTV. He's still gonna have all this other stuff making buku dollars that ain't gonna impact him as drastically as it is, like you just said, for Joe Schmo like you and I, And so that's what I struggle with sometimes, because there is, as much as they say Biden hasn't done, there is still a clear, at least ethical and moral, and that even gets blurred lines because I know I get all the Ukraine and Israel and Africa stuff that's going on right now, so it's even hard to say that line. But we already see what, due to old boy being in office, what has unleashed post in this world, because he gave permission to everyone to act this reckless. And for us to think that it's not going to get even crazier if he gets reelected is so naive to me. It's so naive and short-sighted, very short-sighted. So I don't know. And then I'm sure the community was like, well, bitch, y'all over here got a platform too, telling us who to vote for. I ain't telling y'all who to vote for, but kind of am.
We'll tell you who not to vote for.
That. Anyway, all right. Community, do you give a damn that Kelly Rowland went off on that homegirl at Cannes, at
Yes,
film festival? Same here.
Absolutely.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I'm also glad to see that it wasn't just like a black girl thing, that there were other people of color, other women that were treated differently than these individuals. So I'm here for it. And now this is, I don't know, I think this is giving Kelly some off street cred. Like, she did have a couple of incidents, this year, some spicy little incidents. She said, "This my elevator moment."
She said, "I told you I was gonna bump like this."
Stupid bump.
Honey, I agree. Tell that hoe to get off of your dress and don't speed me up these damn steps. Move out the way. They ain't here for you.
We all, as soon as she put that finger in that woman's face, we all knew what was being said.
Baby.
Period. We've seen that look. We've seen that finger. We've seen that arm.
Because this is the "I'm not touching you yet" finger.
Right. Talk about generational trauma.
She don't even know.
Hey,
honey.
We all got scared for her.
Honey.
So did.
And them stairs look mighty steep.
That. Can we talk about how gorgeous Kelly Rowland is, though? She is so fucking pretty. It's disgusting.
Really everything from like the hue of her skin to like the way that her like cheekbones sit and like
right.
Oh yeah, she's just
her wig selections,
gorgeous.
her gown selections.
That blonde bob was everything.
It was delicious.
Like,
which is telling me Destiny's Child might be up to something. Like, they got Kelly out here looking all gorgeous. They got Michelle looking all gorgeous, and she out here on Broadway and shit. They cooking up something. Like, okay, let's get this vocal cords and our celebrity back up, because we about to take over the world.
Me.
Honey, they ain't fooling me. They're like, okay, we gotta get outside right quick before we get back outside.
That part.
I would love to see that.
Do we give a damn about the rhetoric that Northwest is getting from her Lion King debut?
Yes, because somebody else should have been in that show. I'm sorry.
I flew all the way back from Spain to
was
this.
talented. You should not be on stage, because that was awful. I'm sorry.
Oh,
this wasn't a talent show at the family reunion. This was the Hollywood Bowl.
Baby.
And the kids who auditioned for that spot and did not get it were 1,000 times better than her.
That part.
I'm not gonna blame Northwest. I'm gonna blame the mama, because they the parents, and I don't want to talk about nobody kids like that. I'm gonna blame the parents.
I'm gonna blame Northwest because she reads her mama for filth all the time, and she knows what talent is, and she got herself up there with none of it.
Left it at home.
That part.
Damn. You said she got up there with none of it. Damn.
Girl, it wasn't a backyard cookout. Like, this ain't karaoke.
I feel like this is a point where, like, at least for perception, I don't know this family, I don't know nothing. But the perception almost feels like they're just so used to getting their way, and especially, and I get it, they're in the limelight all the time, so I don't know that reality at all. But, like, you just hope that, and how do I even want to phrase this? You hope that maybe she sees it, and even some of the rhetoric and feedback, saying, okay, that's going to give me a hunger to work harder to whatever it may be, because maybe I got this a little too easy. Maybe I didn't practice enough. I don't know. And so hopefully it lights maybe more of that fire instead of maybe a destruction kind of mode or things like that. Like, because at the end of the day, she is a kid. She is a child. So I get that the family's always been in the limelight and things like that.
But she put in the work and showed the hell out.
You're right on that.
She will never be.
But again, that's why I'm blaming the parents, because Beyonce was gonna have the kid looking out any kind of way out there. So anyway, so maybe we move on from children. Do you give a damn about J-Lo and her tour sales and her divorce rumors right now?
Next.
Dawon said, and Jerell said next.
I don't know her.
Here's the thing. I forget who I was talking to the other day. Was it Corey? It might have been Corey, asking kind of a similar thing. And I was like, you know what? Everybody at that level has had moments where they appear down, or like everyone kind of turns on them. J-Lo's had a long ass time where nobody really turned on her. It's just her due time. She'll be back. She'll be back. Everyone at that status has a moment. So
I just don't care that she's not selling tickets, and I don't care that she's going through her 17th divorce. Like, again, next.
Yeah. What else is there to say?
Yeah.
Do you give a damn that Nicki got arrested in Amsterdam?
Yes.
That was the wildest shit I've seen in a long time.
I mean,
crazy.
No laws where you're traveling.
How you get busted in a place for carrying weed where weed is legal, not federally unprosecuted, but it's legal. Like,
yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know. That's why I was confused by the whole thing. I was like, wait, they searching your bag for bringing weed in, but like they got like weed shops galore and weed bars
in the airport
to cross country borders with drugs, whether they're legal in that country or not.
You're right.
And if you're going to a country where it is legal, why do you need to bring it with you when you can buy it there?
Baby.
So now she can sit at home with her husband, both locked on house arrest. Just
I'm done.
Locked up. Thought she was a trash human being, and you know what? Any negative karma that comes her way, great.
Oh, damn.
Jerell in here coming in Pride Month hot.
I don't know. I just think she deserved it. Cause why? Yeah, how you and nobody on your team know these basic laws?
That's the weird thing.
No, it was sabotage. Somebody on her team planted it and wanted her to get locked up.
Or a newbie. Somebody who wasn't like.
Well, they deserve a raise at this point.
Because they got more views.
Well, because now she's got to put back all that money for the 2 concerts she missed.
Damn. And then this was kind of hot off the presses, and by Monday, maybe we have an answer one way or the other. But have y'all been giving a damn about this old boy trial? That the headline just popped up that the jury will rehear testimony tomorrow after they deliberated all day today at the time of recording. So we don't know what the outcome is. Come Monday, hopefully, old boy locked up. But who knows if they rehearing testimony tomorrow? I don't know if that's a good sign or not. But have y'all been giving a damn about this trial?
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not following it like tooth and nail, but it's important.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he's gonna be the burden of proof, and you have to have a completely unanimous vote in order for him to be prosecuted. That's 12 people, so many odds with where that can fall. But the outcome of this is going to be important, one way or the other.
Yeah, no, I 1000% agree with you. What do you think of Tequila?
I just don't think he'll be held accountable for anything.
Yeah, that's the rough part. It's just like that seems to be the sentiment a lot of people have about this. Because same here, I haven't been following it day in, day out. I always see the headline, like in like CNN.com or whatever, and that seems to be at least on the polls, and then just like talking to friends, but like, yeah, I just don't see someone like him being held accountable, even though he needs to be held accountable. You know,
he could
that's a sucky thing.
He could walk out into the middle of the street and shoot somebody point blank, and they would find a way to say he didn't do it.
Yep.
That's upsetting. But all right. Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick little tea break, and we will be back with Ask Yo Aunteas. Hey, community. A lot of you have asked how you can support Minoritea Report outside of the sharing and downloading and subscribing and leaving reviews. But you can also buy merch. Come on, baby.
I know that's right. And we have a whole lot of options, from clothing to pillows to tumblers and bags. And we continue to update all of our stuff with new styles, new colors, and new products. Jerell, where can they get all that stuff at?
Well, they can get all that and then some at minorityReport.com. They can find all the goodies, find out additional information about your aunties. And we also want to make sure that you share and tag us when you do buy merch, all right? So let us know if it's a hoodie, it's a tee, a long shirt, a towel, because we know you need those. But let us know.
Absolutely. And remember to wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. Here we go. What time is it, ladies?
Ask
your
aunties.
It says, hey, aunties, when you came out, did people already know, or were they genuinely surprised?
I'll go. They knew. They knew. This little they knew. They knew. You know, my mom even said, yeah, I remember trying to have a conversation with you when you were about 16 or 15, and you said, Mother, I'm just not having this conversation with you.
And she said, this gay ass boy. That's
but they knew. There was no like surprises. It was just more just acknowledging the elephant that's been in a room and just calling a spade a spade. So, or in my case, a gay a gay.
Calling a gay a gay. Tequila, were they surprised or no?
Must have been invisible, because I was the only one surprised when I came out.
This?
I'm like, I never thought I was in the closet. I've been who I've been since birth. Like, I'm like, y'all dressed me up as female characters for Halloween. You started bleaching my hair
one of them
blonde.
patted the bell? Was one of them patted the bell?
You have been bleaching my hair blonde since I was in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
I think I was 20.
You was a baby doll. Aww.
I was 22 or 23. No, literally. I have pictures of, like, I think on my 4th Halloween, my mom dressed me up as Shirley Temple. I didn't know who Shirley Temple was. I didn't ask to be Shirley Temple.
She said, but
she dressed me
lollipop.
And I think I was 22, maybe 23. And it was after a cheerleading practice. And like my cousin who cheered with me and a couple of our friends came back to my parents' house. Mm-hmm. And we ran to get pizza, and my little cousin was at the house. And I guess he said, and my mom overheard him, I didn't know how gay my cousin was until spending a weekend with him. Mm-hmm. Said, so everybody leaves. It's the next day. I'm sitting on the couch with my mom, and she's like, hey, so your little cousin said something. I said, okay. She said, he said that he didn't know how gay you really were until he spent a weekend with you. I said, okay. She said, so you're gay? Baby, I said, huh? I said, ma'am? I said, come again? She said, so you're gay? I said, absolutely. What would ever possess you to think that I wasn't? Baby, first of all, I have been getting my nails done since I was in high school. I keep a fresh set.
That.
So I'm like,
what you thought this was, mama?
I'm like, I've never talked about girls. I've never, like, the only girls that come to the house are my friends. You let them stay the night. I know you didn't think
We was bumping
I know you didn't think I was busting them down.
Yeah. When I tell you my coming out was the biggest surprise to me, because I didn't know I was coming out. I was like, oh. I said, so what have we been doing all these years? What is this?
That is too funny. Yeah, no, mine was I don't know. Mine was like they were surprised, but they weren't surprised, if that makes sense at the same time. Like, I think, especially my mom, and hey, mom, I know you're probably listening. I think she knew, but wanted to deny that she knew, because there's just stuff. I think I said on some episode years ago at this point, where she found the Playgirl magazines that I had, and said, don't let me tell your dad. And that was I was probably like 15, 16 years old. And that kind of scared me to go back in the closet, honestly. So I knew she had inkling then, obviously. But maybe it was one of those things, I don't want to see it, don't want to, whatever, and kind of let's keep it between you and I kind of thing. But my dad, I think his reaction was just like, okay, like, let's figure it out kind of thing. I don't know if I never asked, and maybe I should ask. I never thought to even ask now I think about it. Like, if it was a surprise, and it might just be more of a surprise of like, okay, how's everyone else going to perceive this kind of thing more than anything, of more than like, oh my God, what kind of shock. And then other friends and things like that, like some like my straight friends, I think some were, some weren't. Some I came out to, some found out, whatever. Because like I didn't feel obligated to tell everyone, because like I don't think. Like, it's like you're literally going to tell everyone for the rest of your life. And there was a point where it's just like, I don't feel obligated to have to tell everyone anymore. Like, I told people, if I don't see you day in, day out, or even if I do, I don't owe you that. And part of it was probably still me figuring my own self out and things like that, too. So I think there were some folks that were kind of surprised. But, yeah, but then I look back at some pictures of myself younger. I'm like, girl, like, how did y'all not know? Like, the posing and everything. But then I also look back at some of those pictures. There was one that just popped up in my Google Photos recently that I look back at it. I'm like, girl, okay, girl. But there's a freedom I see it in too. And I was like, I don't know what age I got to where I felt like I had to hide it, And I almost like feel bad for whatever year that was, where I consciously probably knew myself that it was wrong, because there was clearly years all the way through elementary at least, and partly junior high, where I'm in the pictures like, hey, like, yes, darling.
Katrina,
and then
Katrina.
Right, literally. And then it just stopped. So I don't recall when that stopped, or where I felt I had to like stop it or whatever, And so, but looking back at some of those pictures, I'm like, oh, I almost kind of envy that kid, because there was a freedom at that point that I lost along the way, that I only recently gotten back in the last, call it, decade or so, So I'm sure people knew. And I'm sure if I consciously asked some folks, they're like, yeah, there was a time we was like, hey, girl,
sugar in his tank,
girl. But yeah, that's interesting. But like I would never have like the fresh set and things like that. So I think there are times that I might present more straight and things like that. But then there's other times where I'm like, honey, if you know, you know.
I don't know. My fourth grade teacher had to call home to tell my mom to stop letting me bring my set of Spice Girl Barbie dolls to school. Like,
oh, damn.
Oh, I had the full any and everything Spice Girls. I had it all. The pencil case. The
Papa to the world.
I'm like, okay.
Do you want to be my lover?
Honey, you gotta get with my
Maybe
friend.
they thought it
but
was
that sucks that the teacher called to say to stop bringing it.
Well, it's because
and that's the thing.
It's just
like moments like that. Where like,
it wasn't because she was homophobic. I just was playing with them under the table when she was trying to teach.
Oh,
like,
that's what it was.
That was.
I feel you, Ginger. I feel you, Ginger.
Right. She just got tired of trying to get my attention to do
Got
some
it.
schoolwork.
Okay, that's good then. And Jerell was on the table giving them a whole world tour.
Okay. Oh, it was
backflips and all.
just everything. So I'm like,
Production.
yeah. So yeah, that I was the only one who was surprised by my coming out. I said, oh, I don't know.
Whoever sent this in, I'm kind of curious though. It's just like, were you asking because you're going through your own kind of coming out thing, or you're still dealing with your own kind of coming out thing? And obviously, we're in Pride Month, so I mean, this is definitely a safe space to be who you want to be and who you were already are. You know, then and now. And so definitely a safe space if you feel like you're still in the closet or anything like that. You got your aunties listen to us every week. We got you, boo. And know that like if you do come out and it is scary and people are shocked and disowning or anything like that, you have a safe space here with us. But yeah, it's always interesting to kind of look back and think back on certain moments that you just don't do day to day too much. But yeah, literally, and I know exactly what picture I'm thinking and envisioning in my head. And I'm like, God, there was a freedom in that kid. He was being exactly who he was until. And that's the part where it's just like trying to almost dissect, when did that until happen? What was said, what was done, what was maybe finally consciously interpreted.
You know, it's usually a build-up. You know, like the little things that happen over time, and you know, I think the culmination of things. It's kind of like Pavlov's dog. You know, like you get trained for certain kinds of behaviors that are, you know, considered not the norm or not acceptable. And I think at some point you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
You know, how you want to live.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because and like even looking at like I remember posing, like I remember just always wanting to pose for like for pictures, shit like that. I consciously still remember, and I don't consciously remember when I decided not to. And that where I'm like, oh man, I want to kind of almost dissect that. And I don't know if I'm ever going to remember, you know, really. But like, I think you might be right that it was like a culmination of just stuff over time. Where just one day I said, that ain't it. That ain't the move. So put your sissy ass hands. Put your sissy ass hands.
Yes.
And pick that shit back up in your late 20s. Oh, that's funny. But anyway, community, continue to send your Ask Yo Aunteas questions to aya@minoriteriareport.com or DM us or hit us up on the T line. And we actually just yesterday got our first T line message. So that'll be on an episode coming up soon. And the T line number is 844-832-5463. And I can't wait to play that one in an upcoming episode because that was cool to kind of hear it live and in person, you know, on the T line. So yes, we need more Ask Yo Auntie questions. We're getting back down to the bare minimum again. So we need to restock for your questions. And it can be anything, relationships, work, professional life, something like this. When did you know you were gay, or when did you come out where people shocked? Like it could be a whole host of anything. What's your favorite tree? It could be anything. You know?
I know some of y'all got into trouble over Memorial Day weekend.
Ooh, that's what we really want to know. And we want to know the pictures and the videos. That's what I want to know, at least. You know, I'm the nasty one, so I don't care. I claim it right now. It is what it is. I want to see. But yeah, continue to send those in, and because we definitely enjoy this segment over the years, and honestly, and it's cool to, and maybe even we kind of revisit some of them. I don't know if our minds have changed too much over the years on some things, but it's always kind of just stop and pause for a second and be like, okay, maybe there's some growth in certain areas that I just haven't really noticed, and maybe it's the culmination of time and build up as well, like Dawon was just saying. So last week Jerell said he didn't watch no damn Drag Race and he don't know all these hoes in this season. So we're gonna save it for this week while he gone. And by the way, we didn't even acknowledge that he gone this week. Damn. Hey Miss Henny, she had to work late today, so we're like, all right, we'll get Tequila in here to fill in. Honey, true, them bills gotta get paid. So we miss you, Henny, and she'll be back next week. But in the meantime, I know at least this Jerell and Dawon have been watching Drag Race and know the prior history of some of these queens. And by the way, I saw, oh damn, I'm not gonna remember her name now. One queen, when I went to Asbury Park for Memorial Weekend, she was at the bar. Oh gosh, she was on season maybe season 13. Pretty Smile. I almost feel like she was like a Cristal or something like that, but it's not Sophia Cristal. I'll look her up in a minute, but I was like, oh damn, that's so and so. She was just like herself.
Balenciaga.
No. I'll look here when we kind of talk about the Drag Race now, and I'll bring it back up. And I wanted to kind of be like, hey, boo, but I was like, no, she out here trying to act reckless and debauchery to let her be, because I don't know if everybody recognized who it was or not. Right. But Drag Race All Stars 9. We're through episode 3, and by the time this episode 4 will be out. But how are we liking it so far this season? It's obviously a different twist on it, where they're playing for charity, which is why they were probably able to get some of the queens that they got back this season, because some of them are bigger than Drag Race at this point. It is what it is, you know. So they don't necessarily need to come back to Drag Race because they gonna get their coin nonetheless. But what we thinking? Episode 1 was like, I forget what all the stuff was up as episode 1 now. It was they had cologne or say it again.
They had the reading challenge in episode 1.
They did have the reading. Oh, yep. They had the reading challenge. They had the perfume bottle. And was that it? I feel like they might have had 2 outfits.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Okay. And then episode 2, was the ball.
That was the ball.
And then episode 3 was Snatch Game. Is it living up to what we thought the season was going to be? That's the first question. 2, are there any front runners that you already have in mind? And 3, did you like RuPaul's number that she always throws at the? I'm just saying. We'll go with those 2 first, and I'm sure that'll take us somewhere. So, is it living up to what you thought it was going to be so far?
I'm enjoying it, but is it living up to what I was expecting it was going to be? No, it's not. Like I said, I'm enjoying it, but I feel like some of the participants are fading in the background, like Vanjie as an example. Like she feels half in it, you know, even though I see you see her playing, you know, with Got Mick or whatever, like, but you don't see her competing. And so, and you see that in her 3 runways, we had the opportunity, how she's shown up, and she's been kind of like lower middle for me. So that was a surprise. I think the other thing is I was expecting more personality, because it doesn't seem like the way things are lining up. It seems like this is going to be a season of a love fest, and then I don't want to vote my sister home, boo-hoo, cry baby, da-da-da-da-da, tears, versus I'm going to cut you out, bitch. Like, I want to dig at that ass. Bitch. I don't think we're going to get that version, which I think that version would be more fun, because they don't have a lot of comedy queens on this season. So they got to rely a little bit more on drama, I guess.
Who's your front runner right now?
Overall front runner. It's tough, because I'll just say for right now, Got Mick right now is, I think, the one who's going to take it.
Okay.
For a lot of different reasons.
I am not enjoying it, and I think, but it goes back to what he was saying. I don't see the competitive edge, because they know none of them are going home, and I don't like this format. Like, I understand why they have this format for this season, because they're playing for charity, but because nobody's going home, they're not fighting to stay. And so for me, it doesn't give me a regular season of having a competitive edge. And because they know, like, the money's going to charity, not saying that they don't love these charities. They already know their charity is going to get some sort of donation regardless.
All tax deductible.
Right?
They were dealing with that.
They each got $75,000 to put towards their wardrobe package to come. So it's like, they're not really out anything. They're not fighting for anything other than their charity getting more money. So it's like, like I said,
yeah.
Like
I
all
thought going in,
winter season, I saw the benefit of having this setup. I just,
yeah. I agree. Like I thought coming in, since it was for charity, that they'd be like, no, bitch, like I'm gonna fight for this shit. It hasn't been that case. It does seem a little too lovey-dovey, and I do miss the elimination because that, especially with a cast like this, because I'm like, you have a Roxy Andrews who like people like hold in such regard. You have a Nina West that the community just holds in such regard. I want to see these heifers fight it out because their name is on the line. You know, and yes, again, I agree. Like I get with the charity piece, and it's cool, especially this year because they probably did this year with the election and things like that, and so they're trying to have a message potentially out there, which isn't even doing that. I don't know if they're really hitting home that message for this kind of a year personally, but we'll see. Maybe it's too young in the season still. But yeah, I do feel like Vanjie's kind of phoning it in. It just shows you though how big Vanjie is, because even when she's phoning it in, her personality is so much bigger than so many people. It's crazy, you know. I'm shocked actually at how well Angeria has grown since her season. I loved her on her original season. You can see she's growing, and she's going to be a force to reckon with in the next like whole decade, because she's still young in her like drag career, even though she's done it for a while. Angeria she's a star. Her makeup has gotten better. Her wigs have gotten better. Her costumes have gotten better.
Her
and her
timing
personality
is impeccable.
Oh my God, yeah. And her personality, we already won us over the first go round. So you know it's going to win us over again this go round, and she's just stepped up. So I think someone like an Angeria is going to continue her trajectory up. But for someone like a Vanjie who was already a star, you can kind of tell she's phoning it in. Got Mick, her costumes, I'm like, you could tell she's the fashion queen, because she said, okay, no, I'm gonna bring this shit here.
She really did.
Ooh,
she really did.
That gown with the what's the painting with the hands on the face. I forget the name of that damn painting right now. And people are probably screaming at the podcast like, bitch, is this?
It's the screamer, but
yes.
but it's
Alexa?
is it Van Gogh?
Was it Van Gogh? I know.
Maybe. One second.
Maybe it is a Van Gogh. Because I know whatever the scream is, and maybe I can look it up here. But that outfit, fucking stellar. It's fucking stellar. Probably a top 10 outfit of all Drag Race. And you know that shit costs a coin. Say it again.
The scream, Edvard Munch.
Oh, hey, Edward. I would say for someone like a Roxy Andrews, for me, she's coming in a little too soft. Like she don't, you can tell she done got older. She like, you know what, I ain't got time to be fine with these little bitches.
I also feel that there's a little perception protection going on. Like,
1,000.
You know, do you really want, like, for somebody who got their start on Drag Race reading the dolls down, and kind of being viewed as the villain, that can hurt sometimes your pocketbook when you're trying to book gigs.
That's true.
You know, versus the one that's more likable and more easy to get along with or whatever. So, and sometimes when the level of drag meets the level of draggery of dragging, sometimes then you get over that for some queens, but not all queens can traverse that.
No, you're right.
So I think she's playing it safer on purpose to be more likable and to grow her followers, which is smart.
Yeah, I know.
She's playing the long game.
She got some Balenciaga outfits to uphold. Because she's been Balenciaga down in all this press run.
Yes, she has.
So yeah, so like I would say overall I'm enjoying it
for the show. I said she didn't spend her $75,000 for the show.
Nope, she said, "Oh, I can make my outfits for the show. Give me the $75K right quick.
Put it in the bank,
honey." But I'm enjoying it. I mean, I still prefer the All-Star seasons now because like it's just the refinement of it, and usually there's a little more cattiness and a little more fighting than this season. And I'm glad to see like a Chanel back, you know, just an OG who's just so gaudy. But I like her makeup though. It's so gaudy, but I'm here for it.
she She looked like the Mac makeup counter, like the whole counter.
She said, "I want to try it all."
Yeah.
That's the whole counter.
A kaleidoscope on the face.
Honey.
Hurt
Oh,
me.
you know, I gotta shout out Georges too, though. Georges has grown. Georges has grown since her season.
She has.
She's a little more refined. Her makeup's a lot better. And then she's still that spunkiness. So that's another one where you're like, okay, it's cool to see the growth of a queen. To just kind of help their trajectory, because the rest of them are just so big as it is. Nina can't get any bigger. Vanjie can't. You know, like these queens are just the drag queens of drag queens. You know,
They're top
but
tier.
someone like a Georges and an Angeria this season is going to definitely help and propel them along after this season. So we'll see. Snatch Game. How did you like Snatch Game this year?
And just one quick note. I just loved what Georges did about in terms of being vulnerable about her anxiety and how much therapy has helped her, you know, to be a more confident version of herself. And you get to see the evidence of that hard work in this season, you know, because one of the things
1000.
she lacked on her first season, it was confidence, applying the same level of confidence in her dance performance to other crafts. And she wasn't as confident doing that. But this season, you get to see her really throwing herself into it in her own Georges kind of way that she does.
Right. In her own Georges weed kind of way.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, girl, don't wear no weed outfit. Come on now.
Got to that Party City.
Oh, honey. Who in your eyes did the right people win Snatch Game? Oh, we haven't even talked about Plastique. That's crazy. To even talk how pretty fucking. Oh, actually, let's back up. Plastique's actually, her drag is pretty cunty. Like, she's so fucking pretty.
There's a rumor that she spent $250,000 of her own money on her wardrobe. And the reason for it is because regardless of how she performs on Drag Race, it's a boost for her TikTok and social media following. So it's not even about the performance. No. And it's not about like, I mean, she may want to, you know, win things for her charity, but the reality of it is she's looking at this as a business, and she can invest $250,000, you know, in her wardrobe to have the finest, so that she'll be talked about and trending every single week. Yeah. How that translate into ad sales that go back into her pocket, so she could probably quadruple.
I mean, that outfit that she made with the boobies and the vag with the cherry blossoms. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's cunty. Mm-hmm. Come on, Plastique. But then the next week you see just how she might be one lane, and it's a very lucrative lane. So this ain't no read, because I don't blame her. I would do the lucrative lane too, but she ain't that funny. And her acting chops suck.
No, ma'am. She can't volley in a conversation to save her life, baby. That improv thing. Achilles heel.
I know Ellie Wong like, bitch, why'd you do me?
Baby, that's the whole thing I was thinking. Why would you do your friend? Why would you do your friend like
that? Because now you're about to get read down by your friend, who's a comedian. But yeah, no, I liked Angeria from the Snatch Game. I liked Gottmik, because I mean, that's just genius, just to do some shit that you could just make up what the fuck you want it to be. Mm-hmm. And it's like people are like, pal, Lassie, like, and she's just good enough to do some shit like that. So
well,
I like Gottmik. I thought that was the right one.
The painting really was like the pièce de résistance, and even the way that she lined the inside of her lips black, so that when she put her tongue out, it looked simulated like a dog's tongue. Yeah. Like that was really impressive.
Yeah. It's Gottmik. I think I agree with you. It's Gottmik's season to lose right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone's going to be as well-rounded so far and willing to be well-rounded this season.
Yeah, because I
think Gottmik's the only one pushing herself.
Yeah, and I think Roxy is a good contender, but something about Roxy doesn't feel as elevated. Like the taste level is there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like the taste level is there and the execution is there, but like if I'm looking week to week, am I seeing like Roxy 2.0, or am I seeing Roxy like 1.03?
7. Right. 1.734.
Right.
Right. I think the hard thing for Roxy though, like from the get-go, she was already Roxy. Mm-hmm. And this is her third time around on this show. After a point, it's almost like Plastique after this season. What is Plastique going to be able to come back to the show and do?
Right.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And so there gets to a certain point where you're already so good and people already regard you as like the drag queens of drag queens. You're going to come back and you be like, even though you're killing it,
what is
I don't
this?
know how much more elevation she could do. Right. You know?
What is this?
Exactly. It'd be like, well, that wasn't as good as 2 years ago. Well, damn. Okay, shit. You know?
Elevated.
And so I think that's what's happening to Roxy's. We're looking at, and drag has just evolved so much.
Mm-hmm.
So the distance between Roxy and somebody like 10 years ago to Roxy and now, they neck and neck.
Right.
That didn't used to be the case.
Right. Right.
So we're just seeing maybe the growth and evolution of drag as a whole.
Yeah.
So
I hope we see more from Chanel, because I feel like she's been fading in the background too.
Yeah. Chanel said, "I'm tired, bitch. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been doing this gaudy shit for 30 years.
She younger than me." Talk about she tired. You don't know tired.
Girl, but she been on that Vegas strip for years.
You're right. That Vegas like
she out there decorating her Christmas home.
Which was
in February. I was like, what?
I was like, damn.
I had no idea. I had to look that shit up on Instagram. I was like, holy shit. People
She
really
said,
be
I'm
just
about
like
that Christmas life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll see. And again, it's not. It probably won't end up being like my favorite All-Star season or nothing like that. But it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. So, anything else? Anything else on your hearts and minds before we get on out of here?
No, baby.
How was everybody's Memorial Day?
Memorial was good. It was fun. Went down to Asbury Park. Kiki with Landon and Lewis, and then some friends from here in Philly. And then I also went to the Woods, which is a gay campground here in or not in Philly, but like about an hour and a half away from Philly with some friends. So that's kind of cool. I'm not the most camping human being on earth. Okay. And all I've realized, it just fucks up my allergies for like the whole week after.
That's a bad trade-off.
Honey, it is. But I mean, there's some cute men's out there, with the little Speedos on, and they could be naked if they want to and all that stuff. So you be
I think I had from Dallas who were there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did I meet anyone from Dallas? I don't think I met anyone from Dallas. Send me, I guess, off air. Send me the picture, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I recognize them or not. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, I mean, it's an easy day trip to just go out there, go to the pool for the day and things like that, and then come back home that night. And it's interesting, like, because all kind of like gay camping was never on my radar until I moved here. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because I went a few times last summer.
Michigan.
I know, but there aren't any gay camp. Well, I mean, you could go to Saugatuck and maybe over there a little bit,
right?
But there's not really any gay campgrounds in Michigan. So I was just like, never thought about it, I guess.
Yeah.
I've been camping in Michigan.
Wasn't looking up gay camping.
Honey, that.
As soon as they told me I had to sleep outside in a tent when I was in Boy Scout, I said, you won't see me.
That's not my ministry.
On the spot. I don't need this badge.
No.
I'm staying home.
And honestly, and last year when I went, we had some friends there that have a permanent site. So stayed there, and it has air conditioning and a bathroom and kitchen and all that stuff. So it's glamping. Then another time we rented a hotel out there. And then the other time came back that night. So 2 times came back that night. And so I haven't slept in no damn tent. I haven't been slept in no damn tent since high school. And I don't plan on sleeping in no damn tent no time soon.
Baby, if I'm sleeping in the tent, that means things have gotten rough.
Honey. Like, yeah, no, I don't foresee it. Because everyone's like, oh, just get a tent. Do I? If I wanted a tent, I would have already had a tent. Let's say that. I got what I want in my life for the most part.
Pitch a tent every
you don't see no tent nowhere, honey. Period. There's a lot of tent pitching.
Right. Me and my
but just
brother,
not one that's on the ground.
I just had
maybe it was on the ground.
I just had a memory pop up of how me and my brother would go to Boy Scouts, and we hated it so much that we cooked up a scheme to fight each other so that we would get kicked out and never be asked back. And so that's what we did.
Yeah. At this point, I kind of wish I would have stayed. I could have got a big settlement a few years back.
Oh, there you go. Tawana and the brother got kicked out of Boy Scouts. That's funny.
These looking
This
at
ain't
thugs
it.
and stuff ain't it for me.
That's the thing. But I was gonna say though, like it's interesting though the community, like because I guess that campground I just learned this weekend has been out there for like 21 years. This is their 21st season, and some people have been out there from the beginning. Some folks have been out there like 10 years, 15 years, 13 years, 5 years. You know. And it just builds like this sense of community that I just never thought. And we always talk about this like spectrum of stuff. And even though it can use a little more diversity, it's a decent diversity, like Black and Hispanic. A lot of people from DC, New York, and Philly kind of go out there. But it's just interesting to see the community that's built out there that, again, I just never foresaw, never thought to care, really. That the more I go, I'm like, oh, a lot of folks go there a lot of their weekends during the summer. And be like, hey, da 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 da, and you just build up that camaraderie over the years. It was kind of cool to kind of see that in a weird way, because it's just another part as we lose a lot of gay and queer spaces to see another queer space that I just never knew existed, and to slowly become maybe part adjacent to it. It's kind of cool actually in a weird way. And I was talking to Corey about that. And he's like, yeah, because Corey has been there when he used to live in New York, and he had been out there before. And he's like, oh yeah, we went out there a couple times when I lived in New York like 20 years ago. So yeah, so I don't know, community, if you're interested in camping, things like that. If you are and want to go to a gay campground, the woods out in the Poconos of Philly or of Pennsylvania, awesome site. And yeah, and then there's always some cuties out there too. You're like, oh, okay, who is that? But they draw us off.
That's what you forgot to talk about.
Ooh, it's like, ooh, put your little Speedo on. Ooh, what's going on over here? Ooh, where y'all walking to? Anyway, community, stay safe out there. Happy Pride. And again, we talked about last week and the weeks before. There's just a lot of warnings about just like haters of the community. Keep your wits about you. Stick up for your friends. Stick up for your chosen family. Be aware of your surroundings. We need you around. So until next week, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. See you then. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.